Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for 17 News at Noon. I'm Nicole Gitsky. We begin with one person killed in East Bakersfield in a crash. Now, according to California Highway Patrol, the person was struck by a vehicle around 4 this morning on Edison Highway near South Vineland Road. Deputies say the vehicle struck the person in traffic, then went off the roadway, hitting a pole. Officials say homicide investigators are investigating, saying the death was deemed suspicious. The pedestrian's identity has yet to be released. And a motorcyclist was killed in a crash in Oildale. It happened around 4:45 p.m. yesterday. According to CHP incident information page, the motorcyclist lost control of the bike while making a turn on Roberts Lane in Sanford Drive. The identity of the driver has not been released. Well, it was a wild scene in Southwest Bakersfield. A man accused of crashing into a truck, then trying to carjack the driver. It happened around 3:30 yesterday afternoon on Stockdale Highway at Enos Lane. According to CHP, a BMW entered the roundabout the wrong way and crashed into a white pickup truck. It kept going, hitting a sign, then coming to rest against a curb.
The driver of that BMW then attempted to enter the Ford pickup that it collided with. After that failed attempt, jumped on the driver's side door of another pickup that was driving through the roundabout. That pickup, that driver sped away for his own safety.
The suspect held on for a couple hundred feet, then fell into the roadway. He was taken to the hospital with major injuries. KCSO says they're not sure if he is still in the hospital. KCSO also says it began when the suspect carjacked and kidnapped a woman on Mount Low Drive. The woman was able to jump out of the car near P.F. Chang's. Deputies say she suffered minor injuries. And police are investigating a hit and run that leads officers on a chase. Police pulled over the suspect car around 8 this morning on Buena Vista Road, just south of White Lane. BPD has confirmed it was a hit and run, but has not released any other details. 2 people were placed in the back of a police car, but it's not known if they were detained or arrested. And 2 people, including a teen, were shot in Southwest Bakersfield last night. It happened near Estero and Hahn Avenues just after 8. Police say a man and a teenage boy were shot with non-life-threatening injuries. BPD says the shooting may be related to a car burglary reported in the area around the same time. Officers say it's unclear if those who were shot were involved in the burglary. Police say the 2 are not cooperating with investigators. If you have any information on this case, call BPD at 327-7111. And now to the latest on the COVID-19 pandemic here in Kern County. Today, Public Health reports 154 new cases and 1 more death. There are still just 5 people isolated in local hospitals with COVID-19. That's the fewest number of patients we've seen since March. 423 people have died from COVID-19. Now, 17 is your local election headquarters, and as more people than ever rely on mail-in voting and fears linger over confrontations at the polls, the Secretary of State says it's the top priority to make sure the election process is safe and secure. Secretary of State Alex Padilla says his office and county election officials across the state are taking steps to ensure voters are safe and ballots are protected. Padilla says so far in early voting, there have been no incidents of voter harassment or intimidation at the polls. His office last month sent an unprecedented memo to county election officials rehashing voter intimidation laws and consequences as discussions ramp up on poll watchers. Padilla says law enforcement is on standby to respond to incidents at the polls. Throughout the month of October, we are highlighting remarkable women who have overcome breast cancer. Today, we are introducing you to one woman whose journey is only just starting.
I found out about 6 years ago that I have the BRCA1 gene. And so I decided at that time to just do preventative testing rather than anything kind of major at that time. So I do an annual MRI along with other tests to be kind of preventative and on top of things. And when I went in for my MRI this year, they called me about 2 days later and said that they saw something.
That something turned out to be triple negative invasive ductal breast cancer grade 3 in her right breast.
They told me at the time that if they saw something, then they would do a biopsy. The woman had the ultrasound on me for maybe a second. And she was like, yeah, so we're going to do a biopsy. And I was like, okay.
Doctors conducted 2 biopsies, one on her right breast where a 1.5 centimeter lump was discovered and her lymph nodes. Tate has a rather aggressive form of breast cancer that can spread easily, so doctors worked fast to get her treatment started. In 3 weeks, she went from being diagnosed with breast cancer at only 31 years old to starting chemotherapy on Thursday.
My first round of chemo will be 12 weeks, and then after that, it'll probably be about another 2-3 months of chemo. I'm not sure exactly how long. And then after that, I will get a double mastectomy.
Tate says it's been hard waiting around to start treatment. She's ready to put this in the past.
I have an emotion of excitement, if that sounds weird, to just kind of get this started so that I can get it over with.
Tate says it's all about first for her as she continues on her road to recovery. Now she can check the first chemotherapy treatment off her list. Now, because of Allison's condition, she will be out of work during her treatment. To help with costs, a GoFundMe page has been set up to help with the growing medical expenses. You can find that link along with other resources for someone battling breast cancer. Visit our website, kget.com. Well, switching gears now, we are going to send things over to Kevin Charette.
I want to wish everybody a happy Halloween as well. It is a beautiful day out here. We have a light breeze. We've got clear skies, a little bit of a haze, and downtown also seeing a little bit of a haze out there. So if you are going out and about, just keep that in mind. 72 degrees on the temperature, no winds to talk about at this time, and out at Meadows Field. Here in the west part of town, again, just a light breeze, nice and comfortable. You can see 60s and 70s all around Kern County right now, so a great start to the afternoon. 79 in Sacramento, 80 in Fresno today, and we're also looking at 80 in Los Angeles and San Diego and Vegas, so some 80s in a lot of parts. It's all because of this ridge of high pressure that we've been talking about. It is in place right now. It doesn't look like it'll break down until probably next weekend, and that's what I really want to talk about here, because we're about to see some change possibly, and the models want to bring in some rain. Yes, I said it, rain. Again, we don't want to get overexcited on this because it is about a week away and things can change on a dime, but that's what the Futurecast models are suggesting right now. In terms of rain, last year we didn't see our first rain until November 20th, and we picked up 0.3 of an inch. So we'll see what this possible storm brings us next weekend, but it looks like it'll be in and out pretty quick. Air quality will be moderate for you today with an AQI at 78. And here's a look at the forecast. Sunny skies, a light wind throughout the rest of our day. 81 in Bakersfield along with Delano, 78 out in Taft, and then for the mountains in the Kern River Valley, we're looking sunny and east-southeast wind 5 to 10. 71 in Frazier Park, 73 in Tehachapi, lower 80s out of the Kern River Valley. And then for the desert, sunny skies and 77 in Mojave. As we take a look at the extended forecast here, you can see 80s across the board, and this extended forecast goes through next Thursday. Next Tuesday, it is election day, and we're looking at 84. As we take a look at the mountain forecast, 70s throughout the next 7. And again, for all areas, we turn the clocks back on Sunday. Can't remind you enough, good time to check those smoke alarms. And then for the Kern River Valley, we'll look for temperatures to be through the end of next week as well. Again, it is the Halloween season. We're having a little bit of fun here. If you are going to be going out tomorrow, maybe to do a little trick-or-treating, just make sure you do it safe and wear bright colored clothes because it will be dark right around trick-or-treating time. But I hope everybody has a good time.
And today, Bakersfield Police are kicking off their 3rd annual Halloween event. The department says this year's event will be drive-through only. The free event is from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at Beach Park on 21st Street. The first 2,000 kids and teens will receive goodie bags. Police say kids are encouraged to wear their costumes and must be properly restrained inside of their vehicles. The event is free to attend, and it is first come, first serve. And trick-or-treating might be a little different due to the pandemic, but the Delano Police Department is here to help you out. They're inviting you to their Trunk or Treat drive-through event. It's today from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Delano Police parking lot. You are asked to stay in your vehicle at all times and wear a face mask. They'll hand out 1 bag of candy per child and get there early because supplies are limited.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Noon.
The The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to KGET.com.